Welcome to the Dawgs Table. Hosted by Craig Fountain and Jared Fatty Bates. Get access to special guests, anyone can join the Dawgs Table. Find the link to join the show in the comments when we go live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Periscope, and everywhere on the BIGPLAY network. Here's your hosts, Craig Fountain and Jared Fatty Bates.
We are live on a non-snowy Tuesday here in Cleveland as Craig is coughing up the COVID, I think. I don't know what he's doing over there. But we are on a wild card past weekend where the Browns did not play at all. So welcome to the Dawgs Table. I am that fat guy and the host, the guy that runs this show, Craig Fountain. What's going on, bud?
What's happening? Let's give a shout out to our sponsors. We are presented by Labatt Blue Light. We are also brought to you by Remax Edge Realty, the JC Group, and you can find us on the BIGPLAY network. We're part of the BIGPLAY team. Eric, coming in hot with the Buffalo talk. Listen, I can root for Buffalo. I can get behind that. You know, I think that we're going to develop some sort of rivalry, but it'll be a little bit more friendly than, say, Baltimore or Pittsburgh. So I can get behind the Buffalo. I sound rough?
Or is it me that sounds rough? Very staticky, guys. That is on Craig. I think so. Does that sound good? I mean, it's a live show. It happens.
Does happen.
Craig is scratchy. Something going on with his microphone. I'm good. Redleg said I'm good. Cheers, Redleg.
All right. I'm going to back off this, and then let me reconnect my microphone. I'll be right back.
All right. See ya. So today we are going to get into our Twitter poll here a little bit later. We got our dog of the week. But we really want to talk about our live show coming up next week at Mr. B's. And you know something? Can't wait for that. We're going to have a great time. Hi, Jocelyn. Hi, sis. What's up, Red Leg? Eric, glad to have you guys on here. Sorry for the cough. But we will be live at Mr. B's on 130th and Pearl. We're about to have a blast. I can't wait for it because some good food, some good people. Craig's throwing it up right there. Wow, that's a lot better than what I had. 7 p.m. We're doing a 7 p.m. show?
Shoot. You know what? Typo. Never mind that.
No. We can do a 7 p.m. show. And Chris asked if I was a Northern Kentucky Bengals fan right now. You know something, Chris? I am right now because guess what? The Browns aren't in it. So, Craig, you have got to switch a microphone.
Is my static still bad?
Yeah, you might have to switch your earbuds, bud.
All right, give me a second.
All right. So, some of the pearl cheese. Oh, I love that pearl cheese. So, what we're going to talk about today is we brought up about the free agents that are happening. Plus, there was breaking news today. When Craig comes back in, we'll talk about it. But we threw out a Twitter poll. Let me bring up the Twitter poll and see if we can't get people here. You know something? I can invite people in here too. Let's see here. Copy to clipboard. Give me a second, people. Give me a second. If you guys want to come in, here, we're opening it up. Let's go. But I threw out a Twitter poll about the, hold on. Might as well throw in the great sounder because we have it, I think. Normally, I'm not doing all this stuff. So, guys, you guys are just going to have to bear with. So with the amount of people that are going to be unrestricted free agents, we threw out the Twitter poll of who would you like to see back next year for your Cleveland Browns? All right. And we had a great turnout. Actually, we had what did we have? We had about 182 votes out of everything. So I'm glad that everybody chimed in. But Craig, are you back? He is not back yet. He's still figuring stuff out. I see him down below. He'll come back in. But overwhelmingly, we got Jadavian Clowney was our number one at 69%. Njoku, 27%. Higgy at 4%. And we got nothing another. So, I mean, you guys vote. You guys do everything. So, I mean, is there somebody that we missed? And we got Red Leg here. Red Leg, what's going on, brother?
Hey, guys, what's up? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad. Wonderful day to be a Browns fan.
I know. We still can't hear Craig, though. Technical difficulties.
Totally, yeah.
Now? How about now?
Hey, there we go.
There he is. He's back.
All right. So a couple other notable unrestricted free agents on the Browns. Chris Hubbard at tackle. We have Jack McKinley at defensive end. Malik Jackson, Anthony Walker Jr., MJ Stewart. Malcolm Smith is kind of a dark horse, if you ask me. I like Malcolm Smith. As far as Dustin Colquitt, I mean, it'd be nice to hang on to him. But I don't think that's carries the same sort of weight as a David Njoku or Jadeveon Clowney.
No, and I don't. Hubbard, I agree with Hubbard, but I think you got to shore up. I mean, Clowney played his ass off, and you know something? I'd love to have Clowney back. And a dark horse for me. Oh, Stewart said he's leaving. God,
That's okay.
I hope he doesn't. I mean, he played.
This is another fatty versus Craig and Brad.
Well, no, I mean he played great filling in as a safety. Would you rather have him or Rodney Harrison?
Harrison.
Wow. Okay. Here we go. Now you're going to get Fatty fired up again before we even started. So I'm going to be calm today because I got fired up the past 2 weeks. That's what you believe. That's completely fine. I'm just saying that he did good enough as I would pick him over Harrison because Harrison obviously can't, jump routes and gets burnt all the time while MJ Stewart can't tackle. But, it is what it is.
Landry is not a free agent, but that gentleman's going to be playing for a different team next year, I think.
I think so too.
I don't know how. I don't know how he stays on this team. Ward is technically not a free agent.
They picked their option. They're going to sign him in the offseason. They have to sign him in the offseason.
Oh, yeah.
If they don't, they're stupid.
So since we're looking at some Ronnie Harrison is an unrestricted free agent also. Let's look at some of the restricted free agents or exclusive rights free agents. You have Dearness Johnson, Malik McDowell. We have Hance, Michael Dunn, Chase McLaughlin, Stephen Carlson, Montrell Meander.
Oh,
so, yeah. There's a couple depth guys there that you would anticipate seeing come back. Browns are middle of the road in a in the salary cap space, before we get into that, we got people in the dog pen.
Let's get them good. Come on.
Justin,
What is
no
going
meat,
on, guys?
no beer, hot takes.
That's right. I never have had a taste for beer, and I don't eat meat anyway. So,
All right, who do we got here? Lil Sis?
That's my baby sister.
How's he going?
Hey.
hi, Jocelyn. It's been a few years.
Yeah, just a few.
Turn your phone the other way.
Nope.
Her portrait orientation is locked.
All right. Well, I
That's
wish
all
we,
right.
but that's okay.
I don't know how to fix that. Sorry.
All right, we got a new camera angle for Justin this week, though.
I'm glad.
Digging
Because
it?
the last one was kind of rough, even though he still got the purple walls.
We knew that his corner was painted. We didn't know the rest of the room was painted, though.
Oh
So
yeah, the whole room's
the
purple.
whole room's okay. All right, it's been a work in progress, right? Looks
It is.
good.
It's pretty finished. The walls are done. I just got touch ups on the corners and that, but yeah.
You know, this is right up Jocelyn's alley right now. Like, she loves purple, and she's probably looking at that room going, Chris, I need a purple room.
Purple is definitely my favorite color. I have lots of things in purple.
I'm sorry, Chris.
All
So
right. No hands Hooper. Yes, he should go.
I think that's a little. Chris doesn't like your legs, Justin. Blinded by the light. I don't
Oh,
know.
you
I'm
know.
a ginger. I've got some pretty white legs.
It's
Um,
wintertime. What is
he,
that
ju-
attitude?
he is just mad because he's not as man pretty as I am.
Oh, there it is. Wow.
Ooh.
Wow.
Bald is beautiful.
See? Well, he's sort of bald. Is he sitting beside you right now?
No, he's actually. I got kicked out to a different room because there would be too much of an echo.
Oh, all right. I get it.
All right. So, Hooper and Landry, high price, presumably gone or seriously restructured.
Yes.
But the Browns are kind of middle of the league when it comes to cap space. I think we're looking at around rolling over, what was it, 15 or 20 million? I think the report came out today. So there's a lot worse situations out there, but we don't have the money that we used to have. So this is where Barry's got to make his money, is being smart with his salary cap moving forward. But I don't know. We just threw a lot of names out there. Redleg, anybody in particular you want to see them retain? I mean, Clowney's pretty obvious, right?
Yeah, but-
Njoku, you know,
Yeah.
most people want to see Njoku back. But there's a lot of names on that list.
I mean, I think the priority for defense got to be Clowney. He said he's feeling better. He said he's feeling better than he has in years. He said above all he had fun. He's been talking all season about how he likes it here. He's been quoted as saying he's encouraging other players to come for the culture. I mean, the dude wants to be here. He wants to build it. So defensive wise, I think Clowney. Njoku, if they utilize him as like the primary, like he was leading receiver for a while there, dude's gonna have a stellar season. Hooper, I don't know if he had an off season, but that money is just not. It's not what we paid for. So keep him for less or let him go. I don't know. It's kind of a tough one, but Njoku and Kleiner, defensive players for me. But it's really sad news about. Oh my gosh, brain fart. You know,
Malik.
today. Yeah, Malik McDowell, yeah, man.
You know, it kind of sucks. This was his first full year of football, and he actually had a pretty big impact. He had 3 sacks. He had a few tackles for a loss, and you know he came up big in some key moments. And he had that head injury. He was drafted by the Seattle Seahawks in the second round. Had the injury with, I believe it was an ATV, and then he's been in and out of jail. And you know, this was kind of a feel-good story that got off to a really good start, and then you Google Florida man, and Malik McDowell comes up, and he's walking around a school naked, and then fights the officers when they try to arrest him. So,
I mean, from what I heard, people that people that know him say that the accident absolutely changed him, his personality, and all that kind of stuff. So I mean, there's something deeper there going on, and I don't want to say I don't blame him. There's some level of culpability there, obviously. But I want him to do well. I want him to be healthy. And I want him to be, get the help he needs, whatever it happens to be. That's what I care about. I mean, if they are on the field or not, as a person, that's what I hope for. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Justin, what about you? Anybody in particular you want to see them retain?
Definitely Clowney and Njoku. I'd like to see him reach out and try and get Devontae Adams, though.
Okay. Is that a situation where we make him the highest paid wide receiver in NFL history?
Yeah, as long as Green Bay doesn't put the franchise tag on him.
Okay.
It might solve some of that issue we have on offense.
All right. And Jocelyn, what do you think? Anybody in particular you want to see back?
I think Clowney's going to be a good addition if we can keep him on defense. I think he did really well. He's a good complement to, overall the whole defense. So I think that he really stepped up and did really well. I was very impressed by him this year.
All right. And Spot Track, which is kind of my go-to when it comes to actually, let me pause here because Eric brought this up more than once, and I want to know what you guys think of this. There's a lot of narratives running in the media right now, and one of them, if you have Facebook, undoubtedly you've seen Heavy-On Brown saying, "Go get Calvin Ridley." It's one of those narratives that's catching fire. And I want to know what you guys think. Is Calvin Ridley a guy you go after? I know, Red, like you said, Devontae Adams. Is Calvin Ridley a worthwhile addition? Is he, for lack of a better way to put it, I don't want to sound insensitive because he's had some mental health issues this year and sat out. Is he going to be a quote-unquote headache or deterrent or a distraction? Is he going to be an Austin Hooper? Austin Hooper came from Atlanta. Fatty, thoughts?
No, because he's 6'1". I mean, he's a 6-foot quarterback, and with the issues that are, I don't want to bring in anybody with issues because we've already done it too many times. Josh Gordon, and we held on too long. I think this is a new, fresh start for the Browns in drafting a wide receiver, their wide receiver, instead of bringing somebody else in. I think this free agent class is not what they're looking for. They might pick up one person at the right price, but I think they're going to go heavy in the draft of wide receiver.
They should go heavy in the draft of wide receiver. And there were some interesting options. Outside of Devontae Adams, I don't see anything high priced that's real worthwhile. And Ridley would be a trade scenario. That's not a free agent acquisition. So not only do you have to pay him, you have to give up something to get him. And really, there's some guys like, for example, Michael Gallup would have been a good, kind of key piece. He's not a Devontae Adams, but, I'd rather have him than, say, Higgins at third or fourth on the depth chart. Actually, he'd probably be second on the depth chart right now, depending on, but you draft somebody, you have DPJ, you had somebody like Michael Gallup. I want hands, right? So how many times have I said this year, the ball hit the guy, it hit both of his hands.
Yep.
If the ball hits one hand, I get it. You're not going to catch every one. If it hits you in both hands, there's no reason not to catch it as a professional wide receiver. Not saying that I could do it, but I'm also not making a lot of money on Sunday. So, what are your guys' thoughts? Jocelyn? Jocelyn?
Jocelyn.
What? I'm sorry. Everything was like every other third word.
I know we have a Justin and we have a Jocelyn. What do you think they should do at wide receiver?
What?
What do you think they should do at wide receiver?
I don't think she heard what I was laying out.
I think they need one in general. They need one that can catch the fucking ball.
There it is. She dropped the F-bomb too.
Love it.
I mean, that kind of begs the question.
Yeah, I'm sorry if you guys weren't pre-warned about my mouth. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's all right. My wife had a conversation with me and Jared this week because I had Jared on speakerphone the other day when we were talking. She's like, "Do you guys want more females chiming in on the show?"
Yes.
And we're like, "Yes." And she's like, "How do you feel about the whole hookers and blow thing? Like, do you think that's you should?" We're like, "Nah, it'll be all right."
Gigolos and juice, baby.
Right?
Gigolos and juice.
I love it, Ridley.
I'm digging the Dawgs Table gear, by the way, Red Leg. Love it. Absolutely love it.
I love it too.
What are your thoughts, Red Leg?
It kind of begs the question: do the Browns go in a first-round pick, or they pick up what's left after that? I want to say no. I think they go somewhere else first round. They push that draft pick down the bottom, wide receiver down there, and hope. I mean, gosh, the Dogs be too loud, but I mean, I kind of it's kind of a tough call. I mean, what's the right answer? I mean, I think it's probably a later round draft wide receiver.
I don't know. I'm thinking this is Massaquoi Robisky year, 1 and 2. Hopefully they're better choices. I think if you draft a receiver out of Ohio State, you're always going to get Brian Robisky. I think there's maybe one exception to that, and that's Michael Thomas. But where's he been? Fatty, you got a rebuttal to that?
I mean, are you serious right now?
I'm 100% serious right now.
Why do you hate Ohio State wide receivers?
Oh, it's not just, I don't know, like name. Am I wrong? Tell me I'm wrong.
They have 2 legit wide receivers.
Who am I missing?
Olave, Garrett Wilson, the guys that are coming in right now.
Yeah, they were all Brian Robisky's before they went,
Shut up. They were not Brian Robisky's before they started this. Shut your face. Just like us picking up Donald Peoples-Jones in the 6th round. Like, shut up. Come on.
DPJ is a steal in the 6th. I'm sorry.
I mean, hell, at this point, Kadero Hodge can be a free agent next year. Bring him back. Give him another shot at it.
Listen, Kadero Hodge, if it hit it in both of his hands, he caught it.
I mean, it's
Chris,
just...
Hold on, Red Leg. I'm sorry. Chris,
yeah.
I'm not actually comparing Wilson and Olave to Robisky. I'm just... Listen, I'm not a Michigan fan. Let me preface that. I'm not a Michigan fan.
You are. It's all right.
I'm not a Notre Dame fan.
You sounding like one.
But listen, that's all right because Ohio State fans are basically the Steelers fans of the NCAA.
No.
Yes, 100%.
No.
But listen, outside of Michael Thomas, seriously, outside of Michael Thomas, everybody's like, oh, don't give me the argument that Ohio State hasn't put a successful quarterback in the NFL since, I don't know. The most successful quarterback in the NFL from Ohio State in the past 20 years is Craig Krenzel. And I think he played like 5 series for the Bears.
Fine. Let's go with Hall of Famer Chris Carter. Let's go with Santonio Holmes, who actually won the Steelers a fucking.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. But outside of Michael Thomas in the past 20 years,
Terry McLaurin.
Terry McLaurin is solid.
Curtis Samuel, if he's not hurt.
I mean Terry McLaurin with a quarterback would be lights out. And I like Heineke, but
Heartline. There's another one.
Yeah.
Heartline. I mean, come on.
How many years did he play in the NFL?
I don't know. What a poor man's Danny Amendola.
All right, what are we going to do?
All right.
No.
All right.
No. You actually say that. All right. There's 2 legit wide receivers from Ohio State that are sitting right there. Who else would you take?
We think
as a Browns fan.
I don't have an answer yet. There's a lot that happens in between January and April when it comes to the draft. There's a lot that goes on. I haven't even started studying. Normally we do to some extent some studying since we're talking about it.
Obviously, you can't rule out Ohio State wide receivers then.
I can't rule out an Ohio State wide receiver, but I can't tell you that's the answer to our problem. And listen, if we drafted them, I would root for them. There's not a player on our team that I won't root for.
Unless it's Juju. God, keep him
Unless
away.
it's Juju. Oh,
My
Lord.
God,
Oh, my Lord.
That talk this week, I'm like, no.
What is it? Why?
God.
I don't understand it.
I don't like. We don't need the baggage. Like, we don't need that. Like, it's why do you want that?
Fatty, say what you want to say.
No, I'm good. I'm
No,
going to sit back and chill because Eric already said it for me. You have Terry Glenn, Joe Galloway. You have Ted Ginn Jr., who played in the league for 16 years. You know,
listen. I was 5 years old, and I was too old to catch the rookie cards. Come on.
You know, so that's fine. It's all right. You hate Ohio State. It's fine. You're a Michigan fan.
I'm not a Michigan fan. I do dislike Ohio State. I take that back. I'm not going to elaborate. All right.
There it is. That's what I thought. All right. You're a Michigan fan. You
All
and
right.
Brian are like this. Just
we are, but that's not why. You know.
yeah, that's not why. That's not why. Never seen one of those before.
Free agent wide receivers this year. We have let's go with the top tier. All right, this is what I'm going to call the top tier. You tell me if you think any of these are fits.
Are we doing our are we doing all bark or all bite?
Sure, let's do it.
All bark or all yes.
I don't think we played our Twitter poll, did we? All right. Here we go. Here's tier 1. All right, in my opinion. Allen Robinson, Chris Godwin, Devontae Adams. That's tier 1. Those are probably the top 3. Now, granted, these guys can still be retained by their current teams prior to free agency or be franchise tagged. Let's look at this year. Devontae Adams, he's 29 years old, 1,500 plus yards, 11 touchdowns. Chris Godwin, he's the young buck. He's 26, almost 26 years old, 1,100 yards, 5 touchdowns. Allen Robinson made the most money out of these 3 this year, $17.8 million. Played in 12 games, 410 yards, 1 touchdown. But let's be honest, that guy's got talent. He's stuck in a Ohio State quarterback issue in Chicago.
All right. So hold on. How old is Robinson?
Robinson's 28.
Okay. Younger out of all of them. I don't want older guys.
So Chris Godwin?
Yep. Devontae Adams would be okay here for like 2 seconds. Then you get pissed off at the coaching staff because they don't give him the ball because he's a star wide receiver diva. And I think Allen Robinson's at that point too, because they're older. They're looking for a paycheck. They're looking for all that. Chris Godwin's trying to actually get paid and not buy Tampa Bay.
You know, I like the idea of Chris Godwin because now, granted, we don't have Landry and OBJ presumably next year. So it's not like all these egos in one room that we know of. But Chris Godwin has shared the locker room with Mike Evans and Antonio Brown in the same wide receiver room. Like, this guy can deal probably with whoever's in the meeting room. I don't know if any of these guys are the right fit for the Browns, though. I'm not sure if any of them are.
Red Leg, what about you? What do you think?
He likes Adams, right?
I mean, Adams, but I mean, I think 29. It sucks, but you're starting to get towards that later lifespan in a career. I mean, you want the younger guy, you want to come to your system. I mean, Godwin is a good choice as well. I mean, something that's real quick before I forget about this. With OBJ, I kind of thought about this when I was watching, Monday night or that it was yesterday or whatever. That what if part of his issues with Baker or whatever was, what if you blamed Baker for his injury? Baker threw an interception. He goes after to get it back. That's why he gets injured. That's a different subject altogether, but I didn't want to forget about that. But yeah, I mean, give me a younger guy. Get him in here. Get him, hungry. Get him earn that spot, and then make him a superstar here. I mean, that's kind of I think Cleveland needs that. I think we want our own generic talent, or not generic, homegrown talent that becomes the superstars. So, I mean, let's go.
Justin, thoughts?
I'd still go with Adams. I mean, him playing receiver for AA Ron and his experience with Packers could definitely come in and lead that receiving core.
The only reason why I said I don't want him a part of it, because you had Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers makes the fifth string wide receiver look amazing.
Oh, Aaron Rodgers can hook and blow me.
Oh.
All right. So
Second tier.
All right, here we go. None of these guys are under the age of 27. Will Fuller, Jamison Crowder, Emmanuel Sanders, Mike Williams. And for sake of including him and not being too biased, we'll throw in one guy under the age of 27, Juju Smith-Schuster.
No, they
Mike Williams all the way. This is the best choice so far.
no.
Mike Williams had a great season. Almost 1,200 yards, 9 touchdowns for Los Angeles this year.
Okay, and who was he beside?
Keenan Allen.
Was he a rookie last year? Right?
Who?
Keenan or no? Keenan Allen.
No.
No, he's been around for a while.
He's been around a few years.
Okay.
What?
I don't. It doesn't intrigue me that much because he's never been a number one guy.
I don't want number one guys necessarily.
I mean,
I want 2s, 3s, and 4s that can catch the ball when called upon. That's what I want.
I mean, I think something's been going around Twitter last day or so is that OBJ is getting all this attention, he's getting all this work, but it's because he's no longer receiver one. He's under Cup, so he's able to get those routes. He's not drawing as much. So if you have a situation where a guy is, give me the guy who's like Cup, who's free, but maybe not that high tier. I mean, it's easy to look good when no one's looking at you, right? I mean,
a guy like Cup, all right, and there's a lot of articles that I read this past week, and something that was brought up on the broadcast, I think by the play-by-play guys. They say Cooper Kupp is actually at a disadvantage as a wide receiver when it comes to the media and league's perception of him because he's a white guy. And it reminds me of Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen would be a dream come true in Stefanski's system if he became available. They're going through a GM and coaching change up there. And they're in one of the worst cap situations in the NFL. That would be a dream come true.
Why not go for Justin Jefferson then?
Who's going to give up Justin Jefferson? I mean, this is the Red Legs point. Red Legs point is Kupp's the number one. OBJ's getting attention because he's number 2. All right? Adam Thielen could be a number 1, but he's never going to be with Justin Jefferson on the other side. Would you give up Justin Jefferson? That would be like asking us to trade away Nick Chubb.
Everybody's got a price, brother. Everybody's got a price.
All right, I'm not willing to pay. I don't think we would be willing to pay it because we're playing Moneyball. Remember, to some extent.
No, technically.
I mean, do we want to pick up a bunch of number 2s because they have no idea who to go for, and whoever emerges from that becomes number 1?
I'd rather have 4 number 2s than a 1, 2, 3, and 4.
I mean, if all we have are number 2s, who's going to stand up and be the number 1 guy?
Someone's going to fight for it. I mean,
somebody's got to fight for it. And I don't know if DPJ's the guy. He doesn't play as well as he practices. I think we've seen that, at least so far. But again, this guy was a 6th-round pick for a reason. He's got raw talent. He's developmental. So I think we got to be patient. I think he can be great. I mean, everybody wanted to say, "Oh, this guy could be our number 1 guy in training camp." But
that's right, Ridley. Give him the finger. Dad's on a conference call right now.
Mike Williams, over 1,100 yards, 9 touchdowns. That's my pick out of that second tier. If you could give me a Michael Williams and a Michael Gallup with DPJ, sold. And you don't have to break the bank. Now, you add a guy like Chris Godwin in there, come on.
I mean, are we seeing kind of that happen? We had 2 number ones. We had OBJ and we had Landry, and Higgins had just a hell of a season last year, and this year suddenly he's underperforming, but he's garnering more attention. I mean, I know he had some off-field stuff going on for a while, but I mean, is Higgins kind of the victim of that, where he was supposed to have this amazing season? He's performing great because he's essentially OBJ in the Rams. He's not getting that much coverage. I mean, is that kind of...
Since you brought up Rashard Higgins, let's go to tier 3, okay? Unless somebody has something to say about tier 2. We all good?
No.
All right. Tier 3. Zach Pascal, Albert Wilson, Zay Jones, Rashard Higgins, Jakeem Grant, Cedric Wilson, Byron Pringle.
You can pick up guys in the draft that are better than that.
Yeah.
I think so.
Cedric Wilson to me is intriguing. 26 years old, 6 touchdowns for the Cowboys. He had trouble getting on the field. Boyd is not available to my knowledge. I'm looking through the list here of free agents. DJ Shark is interesting. No, I do not see Boyd on the list of free agents. So there's 100 different hypotheticals, thousands of hypotheticals of you could go trade for this guy, but realistically, those don't happen a whole lot. You know what I mean? So, David Boston.
What do you mean, David Boston?
Where did he go to college?
The
I was
Ohio
looking back.
University.
I know. I was looking back at the comments. All right, Boyd from Cincy. Yeah, he's not available. See, this is the recipe, right? Cincinnati did what we tried to do. We tried to stack the receiver room. They have solid running backs and running back depth. They have decent tight ends. You know, Fatty, I know you're going to argue with me just by default.
No. I'm like, how do we stack the wide receiver room?
Well, we attempted to put Odell Beckham Jr. and Jarvis Landry together with guys like DPJ, Rashard Higgins, some of these other guys. I mean, it is what it is.
Obviously, it didn't work out.
No, it didn't. But a year ago, everybody, and not just us Browns fans, were saying, hey, listen, the Browns have one of the best wide receiver rooms in the league, if not the best. And turns out we had one of the worst.
Ball hits you in the hands, you got to catch it.
Ball hits you in the hands, you got to catch it. If it hits you in both hands, you can't not catch the ball.
Well, obviously, OBJ, it hits him in the hands. He can't catch it for Cleveland.
Yeah, it's wild how many passes were dropped this year. I mean, just pass after pass after pass.
But we don't need flash. We need Steve Hyden and Aaron Shea. If the pass is on target, they never drop the ball, ever. Those were some of the best tight end hands ever. They were never going to be a Travis Kelce. You know, they were never going to be those guys, but they were Mr. Reliable. The problem is, at that point, we didn't have somebody that could put the ball in on the numbers. You know, how's that for a flashback, Fatty? You lit up like a Christmas tree when I said those names.
I miss it. What's happening is with what's going on right now is we need. I don't even say a legit number one. Like you said, we need somebody to catch the ball. I want the surest hands out of this draft. I don't care who it is. I want anybody that touches their hands, they catch it. And guess what, bud? It might be an Ohio State wide receiver. You're just
might be. I'll root for him if it is.
But what I'm saying is we got to find a guy, one, that is a route runner. This is what we need, a route runner. 2, can get separation. 3, can catch the ball. I'm not worried about a deep threat right now. We have that in Schwartz. We have that in other wide receivers, Felton. We have that elsewhere. We need somebody that, if it is Baker, can actually get a 3rd and 8, and the guy actually runs 9 yards and catches the ball instead of 6 yards, catches it and falls down.
We need an outside guy. We need somebody with size. I know everybody wants DPJ to be that guy, but he belongs in the slot. That's where he's been most successful. You know, regardless of if he has size or whatever, that's fine. But we need somebody on the outside, and that's where it is. And can I just say, listen, like, part of the reason why I'm talking a little bit of shit about Ohio State isn't necessarily just out of hate for Ohio State. It's just that, listen, most Browns fans happen to be Ohio State fans, which makes us say things that are emotional with no justification, with any sort of logic at all. I'm just, so I'm just trying to temper the expectations. It's just, I mean, a lot of us want to see things emotionally that we can't. We make a choice with emotion, but try to justify it with logic after the fact.
Why don't you tell me?
I will agree with that to
I mean, I agree too, but why don't you tell me 2 wide receivers that are better than Garrett Wilson or Garrett Olave? Tell me 2.
I got nothing. I told you I haven't even begun to research. I'm not a college guy.
I mean, they had the Alabama kid above us, but he blew out his knee.
Yeah.
So you have 2 of the hands down last year and this year best wide receivers.
The Ohio State guy that I could get behind 100% is the guy that's not eligible this year. What's his name? Njigba? That guy's a monster.
Smith and Jigba, yeah.
So you get behind that guy.
I could get behind that guy in a heartbeat. That guy's special.
Hey, yeah, so you actually say that, but he's behind 2 superstars.
Yeah.
So he gets all the feed out of everybody else. So so you're telling me he's OBJ because, you got, a couple on one side, you got this on the other side. See, Redleg knows what I'm talking about right there. So you're pretty much backtracking what you just said because you got Olave and Garrett Wilson on the other side. Of course, the Jigba is going to get all the focus because guess what? He's going against their 3rd corner.
Sure.
And he's not getting double teamed. So, yeah, I would love to see him.
I'm with you.
Browns uniform. But you also got to throw in the 2 guys that actually get him free.
All right. A couple other notable names.
Oh, he's changing subject now because I proved him wrong. It's okay.
I don't know about that, but
okay.
We have all off season to disagree.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Christian Kirk, 25 years old. I don't think he's realized his true potential. There's also a guy. Now, this one I actually like, and it's a Pittsburgh wide receiver, James Washington. This is a guy that belongs 3rd or 4th on the depth chart that comes up clutch all the time.
He does.
I like James Washington.
Yeah. He does. I can't. He does.
Okay. Next. Freaking Pittsburgh.
DJ Shark needs to be put in a position to keep himself healthy. That has the potential to be a true number 1 receiver. He's 25 years old, and he only played in 4 games this year, 154 yards, 2 touchdowns. But, he racked it up with Gardner Minshew last year in Jacksonville. I mean, DJ Shark has potential. John Brown, listen, this is another guy that's never going to be a number 1. Probably won't ever be a number 2. But you throw him the ball, he catches it. Huh?
Are we talking Hollywood Brown?
No, I think we're talking about he's in Buffalo now, right? John Brown, formerly of Arizona. I don't know that he's a free agent, though.
I thought it was the Brown from the Ravens. Hollywood Brown.
No, that's Marquise.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's Raiders too, or I don't know.
I mean, Justin should know about that.
That's funny you mentioned that, though, because as much as crap you gave me about the color of the walls, I was thinking maybe take a chance on Sammy Watkins.
Sammy Watkins is a tough pill to swallow for me, just because I've never really I don't know. I've never really been a huge fan, but I'm not against it. I mean, the guy's had to fight to keep his career alive.
Exactly.
I'm still going through this list. There's some interesting names on here still. Russell Gage, he's like Atlanta's James Washington. Whenever Ridley and Jones were out the past few years, he filled in. He stepped up. He did his job. He actually had 4 touchdowns and almost 800 yards this year.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I mean, there's some guys. There's some like kind of like Jalen Guyton. All right. Also Los Angeles. I was talking about Mike Williams earlier, behind Keenan Allen. If Allen and Mike Williams, if one of them or both of them were unable to go, Guyton would come in and, catch 100 yards and a touchdown or 2. But there's a lot of good depth guys in free agency this year. Now, not all these guys are unrestricted. Some of them are exclusive rights or they're restricted free agents. So there could be more than just money that we have to pay for them. But this is going to be the year, I think, guys, where Andrew Berry shows us how talented he really is. And I've said this in the past. It's easy to some extent to pull a guy like Jadeveon Clowney off the streets and everybody says, oh, what a great decision. It's easy to extend Myles Garrett, make him the highest paid defensive player in NFL history and be the hero, right? But it's the micro and macro decision making when it comes to free agency and the draft, the little decisions that matter. And I think that Andrew Berry this year, that's what's on his plate. He's really got to find the diamonds in the rough this year.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong. I think look at the futures contracts guys he's signing. He's signing basically the entire practice squad back again. They're not just practice squad; they're the future. At least some. I mean, some are clearly whatever, but like he is fully invested in getting these guys in the system, working them into the rotation. I mean, Stanton. I'd love to have Stanton up on the everyday game list. I mean, Janovich is here. You don't see him often, but you certainly saw Stanton a lot when he's out there.
Can I interrupt you with a random question?
Yeah.
I apologize. This is my ADHD because I really want to ask this question. It's a complete change of subject. Who's your favorite Browns fullback since '99?
Peyton Hillis.
Was he a fullback?
Are you serious? Did you not see the size of him? He was a fullback.
He was massive.
I get the size, but I feel like he was a running back. I wish that we could find somebody with the violence that Lawrence Vickers played with.
That is true.
I love Lawrence Vickers.
Just put your head down and just blow somebody out.
Violence. It was violent. All right, sorry, Red Light. You can continue. I apologize. That was my ADD.
No, you're good, man. I did the same thing earlier with the OBJ thing.
He's no Charlie Hewitt. But
he's no Charlie Hewitt.
Put me in, coach.
No, that's actually kind of worrisome. He's got this year coming up. I think it's his last contract year. I mean, they're going to pay him. His salary's not that much, but at some point, Charlie Hewitt will have to go, and so not this year. But, really, like with the practice squad, the guys are signing. It's immediate moves. They're keeping them in the squad. They're not getting them drafted off or not drafted. Pick up other guys. I think there's a lot of potential there. He's really farming that, getting the system. We're year 3 with the, with the system. We have such a strong base that we can easily see what our issues are. I mean, this year's going to be the year where Barry goes, okay, this is how we fix it. This is what we do to fix it. I really wish OBJ would have stayed and worked the shit out with them. But he didn't. So, and it's pretty clear he did not want to be here in any way from how he's playing there and all that kind of stuff. But so,
whose phone was that?
It's my xylophone solo. Sorry.
Oh, that's nice. I like it.
So,
all right, Fatty.
Yes, sir.
What are your thoughts? Anything you want to bring to the table tonight? I mean, this is the off season. We're going to be just shooting the shit a lot during the off season. It's not going to be as structured. We don't have recaps. We don't have previews.
No, we got to get into the news about Malik McDowell.
Yeah.
That just puts a monkey wrench in what the Browns. Granted, he's a free agent. He played great for us. But after today, obviously he's not coming back.
No.
So that makes our team needs is wide receiver, defensive tackle, which I said before, and defensive end. I thought we might have revamped our defense enough, but you're looking at our defensive line right now. We got Myles Garrett, Jordan Phillips, Tommy Togiai, and then nobody. Or Augustin, I think.
Gustin. Oh my God, yes. Sorry. I
But
like him.
I mean, this is where we're at. We need some solid defensive tackles. And you know something, Craig? I know
Yeah.
I gave shit about picking a wide receiver first round. If they don't pick a wide receiver first round, they need to pick a defensive tackle.
Yeah.
I think that's where they're probably going to go, is either a defensive tackle or a center. That's just me personally, because JC Treader's getting up there in age. Nick Harris, we're still not sure about that. But I think those are the two spots that are actually going to go, defensive tackle and offensive line, out of the gate for the first pick. And then, because the wide receiver depth is so good, second and third round wide receiver. And don't be surprised if in the fourth round they pick up a quarterback.
You think that early, quarterback?
Yes.
It might be earlier.
It might
now-
be a lot earlier, depending on who's there.
My stance is pretty clear, and I argued with Fatty over the past couple of weeks that I don't necessarily think Baker needs true competition. I don't think it needs to be a starting quarterback competition. Sure, he could use somebody to push him, but I don't think that it would be out of the line to see them. I don't think it'll be first or second round, but I wouldn't be surprised to see a third rounder at quarterback. So, if the right guy's there.
I don't see them not drafting a quarterback. It makes sense. If nothing else, you mold him completely in your system as a brand new quarterback in the league.
If anything else, Case Keenum is not cheap.
Yeah.
So even if you're drafting a guy in the third round to play on a small rookie salary for 4 years, I mean, that's part of it. I mean, and realistically, it might be Nick Mullins at 2, and whoever we draft at 3. But Chris asked, does bringing in a legit number 1 free agent wide receiver scary because of how much we run the ball? No, absolutely not, because that's complementary football. So, I mean, look at the Rams. Okay, did any of you guys watch the Rams game?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. What's that?
Unfortunately.
So Cam Akers, what a comeback this year, right? Like, he came in. Cam Akers was gonna, we started out in OTAs and stuff, and we're like, this dude's gonna ball out. What was that? That was an ACL, right? He comes back for the playoffs. That's complementary football. That is Cam Akers. And really, it's been Sony Michel this year, along with like Darrell Henderson and some of those guys. But they have OBJ and they have Cooper Kupp. You have Dalvin Cook, Adam Thielen, Justin Jefferson. Dalvin Cook is a pretty good comp for Nick Chubb, and they have 2 potential number 1 guys over there. And it can work just fine. Minnesota had their own set of problems, but I understand complementary football, but diva wide receivers want the ball. That right there, that's what you have to watch out for. And that's not a true number 1 wide receiver question. That's a personality question. Devontae Adams has to deal with both Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon. And last year it was Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams, right?
Yes.
That's true complementary football, but you need the right guy. So was OBJ that guy? I don't know.
No.
I mean, he would run block. Don't get me wrong. The dude would go to work. Did he like it? Probably not. Probably not.
It's just so hard to tell because we don't know. Us as fans, we're not behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And then, the other thing is Jarvis hasn't talked since Thanksgiving. So we don't even know what his best friend thinks about what's going on. So that's the other thing that we got to throw. Like, you're sitting there watching this. Jarvis might feel the same way as Odell does, but he's not saying anything because he's a team player. He's like, yeah, I'm good. I'm not going to say.
And we're making assumptions on what they think, because here's the thing about not only Jarvis, but Odell Beckham Jr. Odell has not said a single word about Baker, about
Nope.
Stefanski, about Barry, about the Browns. Nothing. That dude, even if he hates the Browns, hates the city, hates the situation, wanted out of there more than anything, that dude has not said a single word. Now,
Nope.
does that mean he wasn't, some sort of issue in the locker room? Not necessarily, but it's
Everybody,
you got to respect it to some extent, and it's hard not to root for him, because listen, if he came out and said, "F you guys," if he, I don't know, Kyle Shanahan quit with a PowerPoint presentation on why he didn't want to work for the team, and I don't know if he would have come out and said something, maybe he'd be a little harder to root for, but I don't get all over. That brings up another point, Fred. Like, you were talking about Twitter and kind of the narratives this week and stuff. Everybody was like, OBJ, I love him, I hate him, this and that. Why does it have to be?
Yeah,
the dude's being successful.
Yep.
He's doing his job. Why didn't he do it here? I don't know.
I mean,
that's why everybody says it, because you didn't do it here.
But
you were supposed to, when we traded for you, you were supposed to be that guy.
Here's the problem, though.
In LA.
They're not talking about it as an indictment on Odell.
Oh, of course.
They're indicting Baker.
Of course they are.
Yeah. I think the weirdest thing about
one of those guys.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying I'm one of those guys. I'm just saying that's how it works. Like, what? Hold on. Was it Eli's fault, or was it Baker or Odell's fault?
I don't know.
Because obviously he could work with Eli, who is a MVP Hall of Famer coming up.
Yeah.
So him coming to Baker, that's going to make shit magical. Like, I don't know what you want me to tell you about OBJ. Like, he is I'm not even getting into it. He's a fluke. He's a fluke of what he was.
Yeah.
And that's what it is now. And he gets Matthew Stafford with a couple other wide receivers and take the shadow off of him. And of course, he's going to score touchdowns. It's not that hard. I still remember the first pass that Matthew Stafford tried to throw to Odell. Guess what? Intercepted, because he was nowhere near where he was supposed to be.
Yep.
So I don't know what this thing is with Odell, because nobody does. Nobody does here in Cleveland. But honestly, it didn't work out, and it wasn't working out. So that's why we got rid of him.
I mean, I think that the weirdest thing last night was watching, Brown's Twitter tearing itself apart, going, "Look at all the players talking about OBJ. Oh, they love him and not Baker." I'm like, no, they're rooting for OBJ as a human being to succeed in life. That, nothing more than that. And if he was an idiot or some dude they didn't like, they wouldn't say a word. They just like to see him succeed, because, oh man, I played ball with that guy. He's so good. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's what you do.
I'm exactly the same way. Like, I thought that OBJ was going to be the savior for this team. Obviously, he wasn't.
Yeah.
I mean, he was injured. When he was healthy, he didn't do what we thought he would do. And it might be quarterback, it might be scheme, it might be a lot of things. But am I going to talk bad about OBJ and what he did here? No, because he was a team player.
I mean, yeah. I mean, part of the
he loved the team. He blocked. He ran routes. He did everything else.
Listen. Week in, week out, he didn't get it done the way we wanted him to. But if you go back and watch some of the highlights, the dude could ball out. I mean, it is what it is. I
mean, you also have to keep in context, though. He had the same amount of coaches that Baker did, right? So he had, we came in 2019. So he had a year of Kitchens, he had a year of Stefanski, and then he had a year of nothing while he's waiting to play the game, right? So
at that point in time, he was injured with a hernia, sports hernia. He wasn't 100% right.
Yeah, I mean, we saw flashes of what we want him to be, but that's all we got. I mean, the chemistry was good when it was good, but when it wasn't, it just wasn't there. And is it coaching? We'll never know, because we're not going to see a year two of Odell having a full season and extra.
And we're never going to know, because he's not posting screenshots of text messages in between him and Stefanski like Antonio Brown is.
Yeah.
So, Justin, you've been quiet. I want your thoughts.
Sorry, I was barely paying attention.
Want to follow us up?
His room is too peaceful.
He's Barry over there wrapping Christmas presents in the Boo Boo bus station.
Where's Norman?
I haven't
I'll
seen
let
Norman.
him been around in a couple weeks.
I gotta find Norman. Is Norman watching?
I don't
I'll
know.
find Norman. Give me 1 second.
The quest for Norman.
But on that note,
Barry
I'm gonna-
gave us. So Barry gave us an adventure the past the last game of the season. I don't know if I should talk about this or not.
No, don't talk about it. We will save that for our live show.
Save it for the live show. Okay.
Tease it for the live show of going to a football game with Barry.
Red Leg, I mean, you were there. We were with you. It's
Yes.
what happened after we were with you. It's okay. We'll save it for the live show.
Save it for the live show. Save it for
I
the live.
have
I'm,
to-
I'm looking
I
forward to
have-
hearing this.
I have to get permission from my wife to talk about this, I think.
You also got to get permission for Barry.
He doesn't care.
He says he doesn't, but he does.
Okay. All right.
So let's close off with that, big guy.
Yes.
I mean, we're already an hour in. It was a lot longer than what we thought we were going to get into because we got in arguments about wide receivers.
Yeah.
But make sure you guys come out and see us at Mr. B's in Parma Heights next Tuesday. I think it's 7 p.m. That's what you put out there. We're going to be there from like 6 to what? 8, 9,
What time is the legal ham going live?
6.
All right. So we're going to shoot for 7, but it kind of depends on when illegal ham ends. So
Yeah,
we'll figure it out.
Hey,
We'll
we can
figure it out.
just ball them all into one.
Right.
Well,
But-
while you wait, make sure you eat the food. It's delicious.
Yes.
know it is.
It is.
Hey, he added
Look what it did to me.
he added the pasta carbonara.
Oh,
And-
yeah.
Oh yeah, like he added a whole bunch of stuff for this show.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait.
I
like-
still got. I've got that gift card I want from you guys. So I've got the other one left. So yeah,
All right.
at some point,
Yeah.
not this week, but at some point, I'll be back up there.
So, by the way, we are getting Tommy Wings. We're getting the Mr. B burger, which is their take on the Mr. Hero burger. We are getting their chicken quesadilla, which is the top seller, and then dealer's choice after that. So, whatever they make us, they bring out, come tune in because Craig's going to be eating it. You're going to get a bacon cheeseburger
I mean, that's highly probable.
or a pizza? Are you going to get a pizza, pepperoni pizza?
Oh, pizza. I didn't get pizza the last time. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll probably
they
get pizza.
They got pizza there.
I love pizza. So good.
Oh, so good. But come check us out. Come have fun with us. We're going to be doing a whole bunch of giveaways. Craig's got some cards. I got some cards to give away too.
Nice.
Maybe I should give away one of these Trey Sermon rookie patch cards or
Ooh.
something. I don't know for you Ohio State fans.
Uh,
I'll bring some Browns cards. We are going to have some giveaways from Labatt Blue. Also,
Are
I've
we?
confirmed that. Yeah, I was
Nice.
able to confirm.
oh, nice.
So
Confirmation on that.
no promises. Last time we had a show, we bought a round for the bar. We'll see what the turnout is. Who's friends
we're
and who's not.
We're buying it around.
But you know, we're gonna have giveaways. If somebody wants to do the one chip challenge, I'll have an extra special prize for that.
What is that?
That's the hottest chip in the world.
It comes in a whole box, I think, right? Yeah.
a little-
Ooh.
The box is a coffin for a reason.
Send it on down here. I'll take it.
All right, Justin, DM me your address. I will send you one, but you have to eat it on the air.
Oh.
Oh, I can do that.
All right.
I don't know if it's vegan though.
It's okay. The flames will burn it out. It's fine.
Exactly.
Flames will burn it
Fine.
out. All right.
It's fine.
Exactly. And last thing before I got to get to bed, I've got a new children's book for you guys.
Oh
Is-
boy.
is
All
love?
right.
Book. Brenda's Beaver Needs a Barber.
Ooh, I'm interested.
Interested. Holy
Yeah.
cow. So Brenda's Beaver meets a barber.
Needs a barber.
So we went from Hookers and Blow to Brenda's Beaver meets a barber.
Chicken
There's
O's
Sounds
another-
juice.
old.
There's
Chicken
another
juice.
one. D's Big Nuts. Yeah.
All right.
I gotta leave. I
Yeah.
can't do it anymore.
All right. Catch
All
us
right.
next Tuesday. We'll announce
guys
the
have a
time
good night.
on Twitter. It'll be 7 or 8 o'clock. We'll let you know. We'll be live from Mr. B, sponsored by Labatt Blue and Remax Edge Realty, the JC Group, and brought to you by Big Play. Until next time, go Browns.
Go Browns.
Go Browns.